Yeah, and it's funny because even some allies would make statements that I would just look at them like, you can't make comments about what we go through as people based on the prejudices of others. That's like me telling you how to feel when you're having a baby, knowing I will never have a baby and I've never had a baby. And I think that might be a poor analogy, but that's the closest I can come to with the perception that things aren't as bad as we make it seem, or things of that nature. Do you think that even within the scene that um race relations, even though we've come in at a time where there were very few black people involved in the New York scene now, there's so many where it's like at Test Fest about 3 years ago, because we haven't had one in like 2 years. I think it was 3 years ago when we had a big meet and greet. I got up and I was like, I've been in the scene, blah blah blah, and I was like, I've never seen this many black people in one instance in the scene collectively in over 10 years. Like 10 years, all the black people I've seen in the scene doesn't amount to what I see in front of me right now, and I'm just amazed because like I appreciate the fact that more people of color and just in general are more involved, but yet we still get the like I can still walk into parties and get that look like, what is he doing here? Or like, why is he here? And I know that when I first got into the scene, when like I said, it was like I could count on my hand how many black people I've seen within the first 4 years, and I'm not exaggerating. Of course, the black masters, and of course, not counting black mistresses because they've always been there because they've always been honored. But just knowing that I still get looked upon like damn near 30 years later as if like I might cause a problem. Not because I come in belligerent, not because of anything, but I'm a dark-skinned black man. And and if I label myself submissive, if I don't come in on my hands and knees or come in looking timid, then either I must be faking or there's something wrong with this. And I lost where I was going with this, so excuse me.
No, but I understand what you're saying. It happened. Something similar happened to me. Like I said, for years and years and years, in tests, I hadn't seen a lot of black people. I was at I was a board member on duty one day, and it was a class that was being given by a black male dominant, and he had two white female submissives, and all of a sudden the audience was filled with black people, and I'm like, whoa, where these people come from? And that's when I learned about Black Beat. Person was a member of Black
Yeah.
Beat. They had put the word out on Black Beat. And all of a sudden, I was like, whoa, let me hear about this stuff. Let me go. Let me do it. Now, couple of years ago, I was at MSC, the Master Slave Conference, and there were so many black people in the MS lifestyle there. And Mama Vi Johnson actually, literally, had tears in her eyes because she said she remembers when she was the only black face there, or maybe there was one other black face there. Master Zeus, Master Daddy Zeus, also same thing. They remembered when they were the only black people there. But I think that that development is one of the reasons why people are having more of a problem with us now.
Yeah.
Um, we're more visible, and we're not quiet and know our place. We're starting to speak about the injustices that are taking place. We're
Yes.
starting to get into positions of authority and leadership in groups that aren't exclusively black. We're starting to educate more, not just in our own community, but in other communities. And people who had considered themselves to be the Holy Grail are now starting to realize that their luster doesn't shine as bright as it did before, and they are intimidated um, by that. They're intimidated by the fact that we aren't just getting along, going along to get along. Um, when I came in, it's like you don't want to make any waves. You don't want to, you just kind of quietly remove yourself from a situation. But now more of us are confronting these situations head on, and
Yeah.
a lot of these people aren't used to that. They're not used to being questioned. They're not used to to the people react. They're not used to us reacting to being questioned. Like, excuse me, do you know someone here? Like, who the fuck are you? They're not used to that, and because of
Yeah.
that, it's making them feel a certain way. And I've always said this. It's one of the reasons why a lot of white people with prejudices who are either overt or covert are afraid of the expansion of the black populace, is that they're afraid that we would treat them like they've treated us.